you to hit that like button. Make sure you sub to the channel if you are not a member, and also hit them notifications so that you're able to get all of my content, all of my videos. Salute to the whole entire LDBC, Lions Den, basketball, boxing community, and salute to all the people that rock with me. Day ones as well as the new subs. All right, check it out, man. I'm not gonna stay on here too long. Okay. Of course, I always say that, but you never know where the conversation will lead us to. But I gotta pose this question, man, and I should have just went ahead and did a poll, but I kind of want to get everybody's take on this and their opinion. Now, we all know that a lot of people have been disgusted with the All Star Weekend, whether it's the slam dunk contest, the All Star game as a whole, the festivities, the um, the hoopla, the nonsense, stuff like that. But there are a lot of people this year that actually they like, that while they like the game and everything, they weren't in agreement to the format. And then of course you have people that still say that the All Star game, pretty much as a whole, was trash. Um, which leads me to my question: what or who is the biggest reason for the decline of the All Star game? Okay, now you got people like Draymond Green, who came out on record and basically said that this isn't basketball. Doing NBA, versus the world, and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like he felt like we should just go ahead, just keep it straight basketball, straight East and West, or just go ahead and do away with everything. What's up, Brown Sugar? I see you in here, baby. Hope your day's going okay. Um, I think it's a combination of a couple of things, okay, or a couple of people. Now, everybody's gonna say the obvious, LeBron James, okay. Now, that's true to a certain extent. However, LeBron James, even though that he wasn't running the league or whatnot, there was a time when LeBron was playing in the early 2000s when the what's up, Steven? What's up, Luann? How y'all doing? There was a time when the in the early 2000s when those guys were competing. When we talk about the Kobe's, and when LeBron was in the league, when Melo was in the league, stuff like that, they were actually competing and they were actually going at it. But that's my question for y'all. Who is responsible for the decline of the All Star game? Is it Adam Silver? Some people blame Steph Curry because of all the 3-point shots. You know what I'm saying? Some people would blame generations as a whole. They blame LeBron, plus they blame Steph Curry generation as a whole. But I want to hear from you. You said David Stern is responsible. How so? How so? How is David Stern responsible? Because David Stern, last time I checked, David Stern, people weren't complaining like this with the All Star game, yet alone the slam dunk contest. So how is David Stern responsible? You said 2000 and Adam Silver. 2000 and Adam Silver. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. Okay. Now, first off, listen, let me tell you when the All Star game started to kind of lose its edge. It was that last, I would say, around 2000 and I would say because I went to the All Star game in 2010, and this was when Kobe was still living. Okay, um, the All Star game in 2010 was actually it was still East and West, and it was still going hard. Back then. I think after about I would say 2000 and maybe 15, that's when I started to see the decline. You know, before that, you had something to look forward to, and that's when you really started to see a decline in the slam dunk in the slam dunk contest. Now there were a couple of slam dunk contests that were still relatively good. Now I didn't like the robberies. I'm gonna tell you this: I didn't like the robberies that were happening. Like when Aaron Gordon he had got robbed. Actually, you could make an argument that Aaron Gordon got robbed twice. You said 2000, and Silver changed the game and get the blame in a long walk that the salary cap. Huh? 2000s and Silver changed the game and get the blame in a long walk that the salary cap. I'm trying to make out what you're saying, but I'm guessing what you're saying, Stephen, is what you're saying is that it was in the 2000s. Silver, Adam Silver, you say he changed the game. You said salary cap overpaid players. Okay, now I get what you're saying. Yeah, now that's a big reason too. I agree with that, especially when you talk about the CBA. You know what I'm saying? You talk about guys that are getting paid. Because I look at this right here, like when what LeBron did, man, what he did this weekend, as well as Ant-Man too. What they did, man, was just so selfish, man, I mean that's the most selfish, self absorbing thing that you could do is to show up at the All Star game. You didn't show up dressed to play or anything like that, and dressed up in street clothes, but you showed up. I mean, you didn't show up in you didn't show up in your uniform or anything, but you showed up in street clothes. And what you could have did, man, was give that spot to someone else. Listen, the other guys back in the days, man, they would have gladly let those guys play if they were older. Like for instance with Jordan, okay, Jordan and Vince Carter. Um, I think there was a case where Jordan wasn't voted a starter or whatever, but Vince Sanity had said, you know what, no, you go ahead and start. It was like they were actually going back and forth on whether who not to start and who to start in terms because Jordan was older then and Jordan said you earn the right to go ahead and start. I don't mind coming off the bench. And Jordan understood that because it's the game has to evolve. And see, with LeBron, he doesn't want to let go. If he's not running everything or something like that, he's going to sit around, he's going to pout. You said NBA needs Roger Goodell. No, he doesn't. No, the NBA doesn't need Roger Goodell. The NFL don't need Roger Goodell. I don't want Roger Goodell in the NFL. You said low manager off the hood needs to stop. Yeah, I mean it's gotten somewhat better, but no, the NBA does not need Roger Goodell. As a matter of fact, we want to stay away from as far as away from Roger Goodell as possible. Because if you're talking about Roger Goodell, you're going through a whole nother dynamic. You're going through a racist dynamic, you know what I'm saying, which I'm not going to get into. No, what the NBA needs to do is go back to, just keeping it simple like it was, and actually playing the game like it was. That's that's at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's the game that matters. It's basketball. That's what you watch on Sundays. You know what I'm saying? After All Star Saturday night. You understand what I mean? Like, this game is, I think, this game, man, has really been watered down to the point where people, every time they see the All Star game, or every time they hear the All Star game or something like that, it makes them sick to their stomach. Some people are just ready to go ahead and get to the playoffs. Some people are just ready to go ahead and get to the playoffs. Like me, myself, personally, like, I like the fact that they competed and everything like that. But if everybody gonna just be sitting around complaining about it, you got a lot of people on the internet calling the NBA All Star game trash, trash, trash. You go down, you scroll down, you see All Star game. I don't like All Star game. I wish this, I wish that. Well, we might as well just go ahead and get rid of the thing, man. Just go ahead and get rid of it. Just go ahead and get rid of it. I mean, now, I am on board with this. Okay. Now, they were talking about this earlier. If they're gonna do East and West, do it one more year. Do the NBA All Star game one more year. And they got to compete. We don't need no 200 scores and none of that. Have some defense involved. Hold on one sec, y'all. My fault, y'all. Now, if you're gonna do it, just go ahead. Have the East and West. Do the East and West thing. And if you're not gonna do it anymore, man, just go ahead and do away with it, because now it's becoming a waste of people's time. Like, with the slam dunk contest, for instance. Now, the slam dunk, it's actually, some people felt like it was trash still. No, it wasn't. It wasn't trash. Now, you had, as far as the first two participants, they could have been a little better. I'm talking about the first two participants. Old boy that played for, I think he was with the Bulls, and then you had the other guy with the Bucks. And the highlights that they were showing of this dude, man, you were thinking that this guy was gonna come out flourishing or whatever, man. He up in there doing in game dunks. Like, okay, we didn't come here for in game dunks, but the only thing that saved the um, slam dunk contest was Matt McClure, you know what I'm saying, or Matt McClung, and then Stephon Castle. Other than that, those two other guys, you could have done without them two. But I think that it's kind of slowly making it come back. Let's just think, hey, let's thank that. Let's thank the Most High that Matt McClung was in the dunk contest, because you had people actually ready to see that, and that's the type of feel that they used to have. They used to have that type of feel for multiple participants that were in the dunk contest. You know what I'm saying? Like Matt McClung, what Matt McClung has done over the last couple of years is, and I know some people gonna think that I'm insane for saying this. What Matt McClung has done is equivalent to what Vince Carter did in that 2000 All Star I think it was 2000. 2000 in that 2000 All-Star slam dunk contest. Because the reason is because everybody's so fixated on Matt McClung. Now, with the exception of this one, I think Stefan Castle, he had a case for some of the dunks that he did, and they were, like the degree of difficulty and everything. But over the last couple, the two previous years, it was the Matt McClung show, and it's the same thing with the Vince. When we talk about Vinsanity, everybody just wanted to see Vince Carter. It was Vince Carter, Vince Carter. That's it. When is Vince gonna go next? I don't want to see anybody else but Vince. Everybody was focused on just Vince Carter, and that's how it was up until this year. There were some people that actually wanted to see what Stefan Castle had to do, but he had that feel, and that's what it used to be like in the '80s and in the '90s with every single contestant almost. You know what I'm saying? Unless you were just like a Spud Webb or Jordan or Dominique or one of those other guys. So I just think that the All-Star game, man, it needed a shake up. Everybody blaming LeBron James, which he is a big part of it and everything, but there's other factors too as well. Like this whole format this year, I'm not gonna say that it was terrible, but they could have just had it. They could have played like this if they would have just had it East and West. You had the young dudes in there having to make sure that these guys stepped their game up because they didn't want to lose. And that's what everybody pretty much wanted to see. It took young rising stars, guys who who were babies in the league pretty much, in order for those other guys to really step their game up and really play and stuff like that. Hold on one second. Sorry about that, y'all. Getting some work done, but like I said, man, it took those guys that have not been in the league. What's up, Cheyenne? I see you in the building. You said money and greed ruin sports entertainment. I agree with you. I agree. It's not a real thing anymore. Like I'm gonna tell you like this, and this is a little bit off the subject, but it pertains to sports. Cheyenne, I'm gonna check this out, man. Okay, like for instance, this Super Bowl that just passed, right? There was a script that everybody was looking at online. Everybody was focused on the refs and you know the Super Bowl being rigged and all this other stuff. But when it didn't happen, it was like, wow, okay, so there is parity. And as much as I wanted Pat Mahomes to win three straight, and it would have been phenomenal to do something that no other player had done in the history of a Super Bowl. I thought also that it was great for the Eagles to win because I was so sick of what Cheyenne is saying now. Not of Cheyenne, but what people, the perception is that it's money and greed and it ruins sports entertainment because nobody really want. To be honest with you, I don't want to see that. I want to see a real game, but it's like, how can you focus on it when you're like, oh, okay, we already know who's going to win. Oh, okay, we already know who's going to be in the finals. Oh, okay. that's really not fun. You say I heard about Lee Scripps. The refs let both teams play in the Super Bowl after the first quarter. Yeah, exactly. And the thing about it is I was getting so sick of people thinking like, oh, okay, yeah, Pat Mahomes, he controlled the refs and all this other stuff. When Pat Mahomes pretty much is a hard worker. Listen, man, these guys, man, can't control the officiating. You know what I mean? I'm talking about mainly the players. Now in basketball, you could somewhat kind of have that talk the refs into this or that, but when it comes to football, you're not going to be able to control the refs or anything like that, or manipulate the game so much or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? That's something that's out of the player's control in terms of the officiating. You said the Taylor Swift promotion screwed the fun of it. Now, look, man, I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say this, right. That's another thing that I don't like either, Cheyenne. Like, you used to be able to. Okay, it was okay to see. Okay, Cheyenne and Steven and Brown Sugar. Okay, when you were at the Lakers game, you knew who was going to be there. You were going to see Jack Nicholson. You were going to see, you'll even see Denzel Washington. You'll see the different stars from L.A. or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They would show those guys. You know what I'm saying? If you were in New York, you were going to see Spike Lee. You know what I'm saying? If you're in Boston, of course, they're going to show Mark Wahlberg, or I think Mark Wahlberg, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think you Boston or whatever. But they showed a variety of different stars that were out and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Whereas they would just focus on Taylor Swift, and they will focus on Ice Spice Big Booty ass. You said I didn't watch the All-Star game. I had something better to do. Salute to you, Lemon Pepper Louisville. Make sure y'all go sub to Lemon Pepper Louisville. I watched the All-Star game, but I was more intrigued. Lou, I'm gonna tell you something, man. The effort that the young boys put in, like I watched the Rising Stars and I watched the All-Star game. It was actually pretty competitive. Now, was it like competitive like the '80s and all that other stuff? No. But the only thing that I didn't like was the format. Other than that, I'm not gonna sit up here and say that it was trash and none of that, because it wasn't. Because these guys were actually playing. They were playing like it was under pressure. Now it wasn't like they was in no game 7 or anything. But you said I only watched Saturday night because I had to root for Dre, Moody, and Buddy. Other than that, I didn't watch the rest. I watched it all, man. I watched it all. But that's the thing. If you didn't watch it, everybody else did. You know what I'm saying? And I don't blame y'all for not watching it. But you got to think about it. They had 1 billion views and counting, especially on Saturday night. Matt McClung, that was because of Matt McClung, though. To me, that was because of Matt McClung. And on top of that, you got to think that the views are still going up because of the shorts, because of, them putting him on TikTok, social media, X, this, that, and the third, constantly being replayed. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at it from that aspect. But listen, man, I'm not mad at anybody if they didn't watch the All-Star game. Look, man, everybody, and this is a prime example, like, of Lou not wanting to watch the All-Star game no more. Cheyenne, you know what I'm saying, not really interested in it no more. You said the skills challenge this more was better than last. See, that's where we part ways. I'm gonna be honest with you, Cheyenne. I don't be into the skills challenge. I'm like, man, that's boring to me. I don't really like the skills challenge. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the skills challenge. You know what I'm saying? I haven't really been into the celebrity stuff. Like I remember one year, I think Chris Tucker was out there, man, and he was out there dancing and stuff like that. I think it's funny, man. But see, back then, these guys could actually hoop back then. Like when they used to have the version of the celebrity game would be the Rock and Jock B-ball game, and that was on MTV or whatever. And what they would do is they would have guys, but they could actually hoop though. You said last season Ant-Man out there shooting with his offhand. Yeah, man. Like look, man. I'm just like I could do without the skills challenge and all this other stuff. You said my Louisville Cards were playing while the All-Star game was going on. Oh, okay. All right, cool. Man, I also had a chance to see Juju Watkins too. You know what I'm saying? Juju Watkins. Look, I'll put to you like this. Juju Watkins could give some of these niggas on the court the business. Now I remember they were having a one-on-one with Aja Wilson. I forget who was having a FaceTime with her and everything. But it was man, who was it? They were talking about they would beat Aja Wilson in a 1v1 or whatever. I'll put my money on Aja Wilson. I'll put my money on Juju Watkins, some of these other females in there. Matter of fact, like the WNBA is becoming like so competitive right now that a lot of people are they're starting to cling on. Okay, what do these females have to offer? You understand what I mean? So, like I said, man, and Lou, I mean, what do you feel like it's been a decline? I already know what you finna say. You finna say LeBron. But besides LeBron, what else do you feel has been the reason for the decline? You said 38 blocks against UCLA, number 1 team in the country. Yes, sir. Juju Watkins is her. I've been telling people about Juju Watkins. Everybody like, oh, no, Caitlin Clark. I've been telling people about Juju Watkins. Everybody like, oh, no, Angel Reese. You know what I'm saying? Nah, Juju Watkins going to come over there, and she going to kick ass, and she going to take names over there at the WNBA. Straight up. But, I mean, I want to know from you, Lemon Pepper Lou, what do you think has been, what is the reason for the decline, okay? I already know you're gonna say LeBron. That's the first thing. But what else though? Besides the obvious. Because I think what they do need to go back to. I think what they should go back to, man, and from what I hear, they're going back to one-on-one. I think they should go back to that one-on-one thing where players play each other one-on-one. Like I remember they had Dr. J. They had Dr. J and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar play each other one-on-one. You understand? You said no superstar in the slam dunk contest. Well, hey, but no, I'm talking about the All-Star game, though. Okay, we know the slam dunk. I mean, we got that. But what about the All-Star game, though? What you think is the reason for the decline of the All-Star game? And no defense in the game. Okay, there you go. Yeah, well, they actually had somewhat of defense this year, especially with them rising stars. Now, of course, it ain't gonna be, the physicality that they had when we was coming up and everything, But I mean, these guys did not want to let each other win this year. You know what I'm saying? And then plus, LeBron, he didn't want to face Dalton Connect. He didn't want to face none of them young dudes. Them young dudes was ready, man. Them young dudes was ready to take LeBron's lunch, man. Let's just be honest. They were ready to take his lunch, man. So yeah, I think this is the conversation, man, that we got to have, man, because a lot of people, man, they're fed up with the All-Star game. People are ready to it's like the regular season. A lot of people complain about the regular season. They be like, "Wake me up when the playoffs start." That's what a lot of people say. And that's why I had to ask, you know what I'm saying? Because that's all I've been hearing. I'm thinking that, some people would come around. You said part of the decline is some of the new superstars in the NBA are injury prone, lack of superstar aura, and lack of fundamentals. Yeah, but there are some guys that are coming in right now, man, that I think are changing some things. Like I like Victor Wembanyama, the fact that he's getting blocks. You said Polo back in the day, they used to fight to get that prize money. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. They wanted that money. They wanted that incentive, man. But that's a good point that you brought up, Cheyenne. Look, everybody, I say quote unquote injury prone because a lot of these guys they claim they injured and stuff like that, but some of them be hurt. Like, come on, man. LeBron talk about ankle issues and ankle injuries and stuff like that. Man, come on. But you caught a flight. You catching a flight or whatever, and that really that makes the problem worse when it comes to your ankles. So that's a whole nother thing in question or whatever. And you just played like a couple nights ago. Like you were just fine. You was over there. You were playing with Luca over there in Utah and everything. Now you got ankle soreness and all this other stuff. Come on, man. Come on, man. You just didn't want that smoke with them young dudes. That's what it is. And I agree with you on the superstar. Or like, look, I don't mind. Actually, I think there needs to be a little bit of role player mixed in with the All Star game because you used to have role players that were in the All Star game. Like you, every now and then you have Dennis Rodman. You'll have Dennis Rodman in there. You'll have trying to think of some other role players. You said LeBron out there taking a pic with the All Star game in street clothes. Yeah, it is. How was he hurt when danced at the party? Yeah, exactly. Man, Cheyenne and Louis, y'all are on it. Exactly. You're taking a picture with in your regular clothes, man, and what it does too, it also it it's a bad look because you're saying, okay, well, I don't need to dress out, I don't need to, do any of this, I don't need to participate and stuff like that. Well, hell, that's all right. They got 1 billion views without you. Matt McClung was more of a draw than you are. And listen, I'm gonna tell you something, right? I'm gonna tell you something, Lou and Cheyenne. I gotta say this. Matt McClung is exciting to watch, bro. Like he's becoming like one of them guys, man. Like you're anticipating what the hell he's fitting to do. Like you could brace yourself. You get ready to brace yourself what he finna do in the open floor. Like that's how vicious and some wild his dunks be, man. Because it's like, damn, man, if they could get this dude in the NBA, man, get this dude a contract, maybe some people will get excited about a motherfucker that can catch a out of you, put that shit between his legs, and finish. Like, I don't think people really are seeing it how I'm seeing it. Matt McClung, man, and they're like, oh yeah, he a great dunker and stuff like that, but that's all they see him for. No, this dude can actually play, man. This dude can actually play. He could shoot. He could pass real good. He got dimes. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's so fixated on the dunks and stuff like that. It was just like you said. I got excited watching Matt McClung. Yeah, like dog. It's because you're like you anticipating what the fuck are you gonna do, and the fact that he doing it on 1 to 2 tries, man, and the fact that he don't take all day. Like if you notice, I want people to notice this too, Cheyenne and Lou. If you notice, he doesn't take 10 minutes, 20 minutes to, you know what I'm saying, wipe off his shoes and shake hands and nothing like that. No, he get right to it. He get right to the business. This dude gets right to it. He don't waste no time. If he messes up, he only messes up like maybe once or twice. That's it. He probably maybe had one bad attempt or something like that. Other than that, just doing the shit like Vince Carter was doing. Vince Carter only needed one attempt. Guys like Jordan, man, they only needed one, maybe two attempts. Man, they don't need no 6, 7, 8. By then, see, and what they don't realize, by then, the excitement factor is done. The excitement factor is done because they're like, okay, well, damn, we already know what you finna do. But if you're doing it off of one attempt, bro, off of one attempt, like, and the degree of difficulty that you're doing, man, that, you get a check in my book all day, man, that's a 50. Stephon Castle, like I said, that degree of difficulty that he did where, Jason Richardson and B. Davis and Kevin Garnett wanted to get it due to 49 and all this other stuff. Oh, man, T-Mac and all that, man. I was like, man, and I'm like, man, what the hell T-Mac over there, man? I'm like, man, T-Mac, you ain't play for no Golden State. Neither did you, KG. Now, Baron Davis, I can understand. Jason Richard, I can understand. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, y'all motherfuckers didn't play for no Golden State. I'm like, what y'all doing on the jet? I mean, at least get Sprewell on there or some, some people that used to dunk like real cold or something. Shoot, hell, you should have got Andre Iguodala over there. You know what I'm saying, Cheyenne? You know what I'm saying, Lou? Said Matt McClung's are full of it. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. And this is my last point, man, before I go. I got to get up out of here, man. But a lot of people don't understand, man. This dude is doing mascot dunks. And that's not a diss. That's actually a compliment. Because you're doing mascot dunks. You're doing, like, stuff like that you're doing on a trampoline. Like, I don't know if y'all ever seen Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox. I don't know if any of y'all are old enough to remember that. Yeah. He do it, and the way that he do it, like the way his legs, the way that he's bringing the ball between his legs and all that stuff, man, he putting funk to it, man. Like, it's like this dude is passionate about dunking, man. I'm like, golly, you gotta get a dude a contract. And on top of that, man, you got everybody watching. Man, you got everybody up in there, man. They wasn't talking, that's all they would talk about was Matt McClung. That's it. That's it, man. But the fact that, and I like when little guy, and he's not even little, you know what I'm saying? Spud Webb was little and was smaller than him, and Nate Robinson was smaller than him and everything. But we know that those guys could get up. But I like to see little guys get up like that. Like Spud Webb, they're like, man, this dude ain't finna. What? You know, Nate Robinson, oh yeah, right, he ain't finna. What? It's like Chris Berman. Whoop! But yeah, man. It needs that type of excitement. My last point, man. They need Matt McClung's type of excitement. That's how we used to get excited for the All-Star game. But think about, I want people to picture this, okay? For some of you young cats that don't know this, Matt McClung dunking, like doing what he did in the dunk contest, picture that on like every single contestant back in the 80s and back in the 90s and stuff like that. And that's how it was. And picture that type of excitement when the actual game came on. And that's the type of adrenaline that you used to have and stuff like that. Now, I know some people are going to sit up there and they're going to try to hate on Mac McClung and everything like that. Listen, I'm not hating on Mac McClung, bro. I'm not hating. This dude can get up, man. This dude can get up. And you, like I told you, you earn my props when you're able to do it off of 1 to 2 attempts, man. You know what I'm saying? Because what that shows me, it showed me that it showed me your level of confidence. More so, also confident in your abilities. Also, you being you already working on your craft, and you've done it so much that it's nothing to you. Like all the hard work that you have put in, and on top of that, it shows that you know, look, you take it. It's either you take it or you don't take it. You know what I'm saying? It's either you love it or you hate it. And it's just, man, it's just phenomenal what he did or whatever. But like I said, man, I'm not gonna harp on it too much, man. But like, just to sum everything up, man, I do think that the All-Star game, it was a little bit better, you know what I'm saying? They could do without a format. But like I said, man, let's just get it back to East and West. Let's get some more competitiveness. Let's get some more Mac McClungs in the dunk contest, you know what I'm saying? And look, at this point, I really don't even care about superstars being in the dunk. Man, just give me some in the dunk contest. Give me a couple of guys, man, that could show their ass or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because Mac McClung is not a superstar. You know what I'm saying? And I must say that again. He ain't no superstar. We're not looking at Mac. He's not even in the league or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he had a he signed a 2-week with Philly at one point or whatever. I mean, so that just goes to show you, Stephon Castle, he's still a young cat. You know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily need superstar. It's like Kenny Skywalker. He wasn't no superstar, nothing like that, but the dude could get up. That was a dunker back in the days. You know what I'm saying? D Brown, a good player and everything, but he wasn't no superstar, nothing like that, but he could get up. You know what I'm saying? So, with all that being said, man, make sure y'all like the video, share it, subscribe, hit the notifications too. Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. I'll get at y'all later.